Hello, welcome to the Numbers Game channel. We're going to do a quick Premier League preview of Thursday night's fixtures. We've got two games to cover, potentially two belters, two very tight games. First one is Fulham hosting Brighton at Craven Cottage. The AI makes Fulham extremely tight favourites for this one at 38%, draw 27%, and Brighton 35%. And both of these two sides are having what can only be described as a pretty good season. I mean, Fulham sit 10th, Brighton sit 4th. Both of them are very solid teams. They both score the exact same amount of goals as they concede. Um, both of these teams always bag. Neither team has failed to score in the last five. Brighton haven't kept a clean sheet in the last five, so can probably expect goals in this one. And one of the big things that we know is going through the head-to-head is that Brighton haven't beat Fulham in the last 9 outings, going all the way back to the Championship. Um, Fulham seem to love playing against Brighton.
Yeah, somewhat of a bogey team for Brighton, and Brighton have a lot of injuries as well. If it's any other team, you think that injuries are going to play a massive part, but Brighton will probably just pull some Colombian whiz kid out of their academy and they'll go on to be a world beater.
Yeah, on that, I think Matoma was seen limping at the end of Brighton's last game, so he's potentially a doubt for this one. But as you say, they always just seem to pluck some wonder kid out of thin air, don't they?
Yeah, I love the fact that Danny Welbeck's had this redemption arc as well. 29% chance of a goal. There's about seven Brighton players there with over a 20% chance of scoring, and that's not including the injured players if you show those as well.
Yeah, Jorginho Rutter's back. He's had a good season so far, of course. Danny Welbeck, as you say, he's been the top goal scorer across the season. He has 6 goals so far. João Pedro's back. He's got 4 goals so far this season. So they've got attacking talent all over the pitch, haven't they? Fulham, they've got the Raul Jimenez is firing at the moment. He's looking like the most likely number 9. Emil Smith Rowe, of course, has slotted in nicely. Tom Kearney's found a bit of form recently, so they've got their fair share of players as well. What do you
Yeah,
reckon for this one? What's your score prediction?
do you know what? We've predicted a lot of draws in this Premier League round. I'm going to give this one another draw. I think it could easily be a 1-all. I think Brighton's slightly worse on the road. Fulham will do well to beat them, and that naturally puts me as a draw.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I'm going to go with 1-all in this one as well. And the second game of this round is Bournemouth hosting Spurs. Now, the AI makes Spurs slight favourites in this one at 41%. I have to say, I don't really agree with the AI. I think Bournemouth, on recent form, probably edged this one in my mind. They come off the back of a 4-2 win at Wolves. And to be fair, they've only won 2 games in the last five, one of them against Man City and one of them against Wolves. And Tottenham, despite looking like world beaters a couple of weeks ago against City, they coming into this with one win in their last five as well. Pretty much scraping a draw at the weekend against Fulham.
This is the problem, though. It's all right beating City. If you beat small teams like that, then when you come up against someone with a bit more metal, then you're going to come unstuck. I would say Tottenham missing Solanke. Whilst Solanke obviously splits opinions, but one thing you can't take away from him, he is a hard worker. His press is ridiculous, and a large part of Big Angie's game plan hinges on that press of the front three. And I think I'm going to back Bournemouth for this one as well. Not least because the odds at the bottom, as you will see, if we can get them into view on the screen, the odds of a Tottenham win are bigger than they should be. And that is always a red flag for me. The bookies are not daft, and I'm going to back Bournemouth to win. Tottenham
Yeah,
conceding over 2 XG per game. Bournemouth create a lot of chances. I'm gonna probably say Bournemouth 3-1.
wow. Yeah, I think Spurs' XG numbers in attack are better than Bournemouth, but their XG numbers defensively are terrible. Of course, they're missing their two first choice centre halves in this one. And Bournemouth, a team who always score and always concede. They've won 3 out of the last 5 home games, one of them against Man City, of course, and one of them against Arsenal. So they always turn up against the top teams in the division. They love playing them. Their high pressing style really makes it hard for the top teams. And I think Tottenham missing their two key centre halves and with two fullbacks that aren't exactly known for defending, they're going to be extremely, extremely vulnerable in this one. It's worth saying that Solanke will be back for this one. I think he was ill in the last one, and he will be playing against his old club, Bournemouth. I know you love lumping on players when they play against their old club.
That added incentive. One more thing on the team stats as well. Sorry, Bournemouth are averaging more shots than Tottenham, and Tottenham have their goalkeeper out. Their first choice goalkeeper Vicario fractured ankle, wasn't he? Played for an hour on a fractured ankle, I think. But
Yeah,
Bournemouth,
that's
they
right.
take a lot of shots, they create a lot of chances, and Tottenham missing the first choice keeper away from home, and that is again lends itself to a Bournemouth result.
Yeah, Spurs have got two of the first choice back five, and they're the least defensively minded out of the five anyway. So I'm going to go with you on this one. I think Bournemouth win this one. I think there'll be more than 2 goals in the game. In other words, I think Tottenham will score. I think Bournemouth will score 2 or more. That's what I'm backing. What about you? What's your score prediction?
Yeah, score prediction. I fancy Bournemouth 3-1, which is quite it's a bit out there. If I was putting money on it, I'd probably say Bournemouth and over 2.5 or something like that in the game overall.
Lovely. Great stuff, mate. Thanks for that. Peace out.
Peace out.